I'm so happy to see you here again today. Today I was thinking we could read the story Corduroy. I heard one of my friends really wanted to read this book, and I'm excited to read it for you. But before we get started, I wanted to tell you about something that you see sometimes on the back of books. Now, this is a big word, so pay close attention. On the back of books, you sometimes see something called a synopsis. Now, a synopsis, or sometimes it might be called a summary, gives us a little sneak peek into what our story is about. So you can read the synopsis or the summary to decide if you want to read the whole book. So today I'll read the synopsis, and tomorrow we'll take a look at two different stories and decide together which one we would rather read after we read the back cover synopsis. So this one says, "How did you get here? You must go back to the toy shelf. Poor Corduroy, how will he ever find a home?" So what do you think? Would you like to read this story? Sounds pretty cool. I think we should read it together. So get nice and comfortable. I'm glad we learned what a synopsis is. You are so smart. Ready? Corduroy is a bear who once lived in the toy department of a big store. Day after day, he waited with all the other animals and dolls for somebody to come along and take him home. The store was always filled with shoppers buying all sorts of things, but no one ever seemed to want a small bear in green overalls. Then one morning, a little girl stopped and looked straight into Corduroy's bright eyes. "Oh, Mommy," she said, "look, there's the very bear I've always wanted." "Not today, dear," her mother sighed. "I've spent too much already. Besides, he doesn't look new. He's lost the button to one of his shoulder straps." Oh, poor Corduroy. He lost his button. I wonder where it is. Corduroy watched them sadly as they walked away. "I didn't know I'd lost a button," he said to himself. "Tonight I'll go and see if I can find it." Late that evening, when all the other shoppers had gone and the doors were shut and locked, Corduroy climbed carefully down from his shelf. He began searching everywhere on the floor for his lost button. Suddenly, he felt the floor moving under him. Quite by accident, he had stepped onto an escalator, and up he went. Could this be a mountain, he wondered? I think I've always wanted to climb a mountain. How silly is Corduroy? He thinks the escalator is a mountain. He stepped off the escalator as it reached the next floor, and there before his eyes was a most amazing sight. Tables and chairs and lamps and sofas and rows of beds. "This must be a palace," Corduroy gasped. "I guess I've always wanted to live in a palace." He wandered around admiring the furniture. "This must be a bed," he said. "I've always wanted to sleep in a bed." And up he crawled onto a large, thick mattress. All at once he saw something small and round. "Why, here's my button," he cried, and he tried to pick it up. But like all the other buttons on the mattress, it was tied down tight. He yanked and pulled with both paws until, pop, off came the button, and off the mattress Corduroy toppled. Bang! Into a tall floor lamp. Over it fell with a crash. Uh-oh. Corduroy didn't know it, but there was someone else awake in the store. The night watchman was going his rounds on the floor above. When he heard the crash, he came dashing down the escalator. "Now, who in the world did that?" he exclaimed. "Somebody must be hiding around here." Uh-oh. He flashed his light under and over sofas and beds until he came to the biggest bed of all. And there he saw two fuzzy brown ears sticking up from under the cover. Can you see Corduroy's ears? "Hello," he said. "How did you get upstairs?" The watchman tucked Corduroy under his arm and carried him down the escalator. He set him on the shelf in the toy department with the other animals and dolls. Poor Corduroy. Corduroy was just waking up when the first customers came into the store in the morning, and there, looking at him with a wide, warm smile, was the same little girl he'd seen only the day before. "I'm Lisa," she said, "and you're going to be my very own bear. Last night I counted what I've saved in my piggy bank, and my mother said I could bring you home." "Shall I put him in a box for you?" the saleslady asked. "Oh, no, thank you," Lisa answered, and she carried Corduroy home in her arms. She ran all the way up 4 flights of stairs into her family's apartment and straight into her own room. Corduroy blinked. There was a chair and a chest of drawers, and alongside a girl-sized bed stood a little bed just the right size for him. The room was small, nothing like that enormous palace in the department store. "This must be home," he said. "I know I've always wanted a home." Lisa sat down with Corduroy on her lap and began to sew a button on his overalls. "I like you the way you are," she said, "but you'll be more comfortable with your shoulder strap fastened." "Lisa is so nice." "You must be a friend," said Corduroy. "I've always wanted a friend." "Me too," said Lisa, and gave him a big hug. The end. I absolutely love this story, and I'm also really glad that we learned what a synopsis or a summary is today. You guys are so smart. So tomorrow I'll try to pick 2 other books with a synopsis or a summary, either on the back cover or sometimes it's hidden on the inside cover. And then we can decide together which story we'd like to read, because a summary or a synopsis on the back of books tells us what our story is going to be about, so we can decide whether or not we want to read it at all. All right, I hope you guys have a great day today, and I miss you terribly, but I've seen all the hard work that you guys are doing and all those pictures that you're posting in Google Classroom, and I absolutely love it. So keep up the good work, and I'll see you here tomorrow. Bye.